Today, on the Justice Court, the plaintiff is asking the court to compel her husband to take responsibility for the upkeep of their child.
All rise. Court in session. Honorable Judge Funmi Asaolu presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, this case is between Anne Amagba and Chigozie Ugochukwu. That is all.
Thank you, Akin. And Amagba, you brought Chigozie to court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why? You said he's your husband
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
he left you and 3 children,
Yes, Your Honor.
and he's living with another woman that has 4 children.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that true? And when she decided to get a job,
Yes, Your Honor.
he came back
Yes, Your Honor.
and beat you
Yes, Your Honor.
and told your boss to sack you.
Yes, Your Honor.
He said we no longer pay for the house you are living with your children.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he came with talks to beat you up.
Yes, Your Honor.
And they took away some of the properties,
Yes,
including your personal belongings.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that his mistress also threatened your life.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a case against you. And this is your defense. The documents to support you. But I'll just give you the brief summary of your defense for you to hear.
Alright.
You said she's denying you access to your children. She doesn't allow the children to come to you. You have the proof that you've been providing for the children as much as you can. You've been sending her money for the children's upkeep. You want access to your children because you don't know the children's whereabouts right now. It's almost 3 months you've not seen your children. She said you can't speak to them on phone, right?
Yes.
We have been told that we can share the stay of the kids through weekends and holidays, but she has disobeyed all of this warning of Lagos State sexual and domestic violence ruling. All I'm asking for is to have access to my children. You have a lot of documents. So, you heard him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been denying him access to the children?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Okay.
He said so because I told him I can no longer live in Lagos. I want to relocate out of Lagos. So I sent him a message, told him where I'm relocating to, and then tell him it anytime he wants to see his children, he can just let me know, and then I'll tell him where he can come and see them. I talking about disobeying domestic and sexual violence agency. He is the one that actually disobeyed them because when we went there,
Who
he-
went to report there?
I did.
Okay.
I went there when he seized my kids, took them to his mistress, who have 4 kids already, and then they kept my kids for 10 days, denied me access to them. I could not speak to my kids or even go close to them. So I had to take the case to domestic and sexual violence. We went there. After all said and done, he signed an agreement that he was going to provide 4,000 naira daily. Though before then he does more than that. But there he said he will pay 4,000 naira daily. And then we left. For more than 2 weeks, 1 month, he didn't send a dime. I had to go back to them. When they called, invited him again, he started sending 1,000 naira daily for the three kids. How he does it was 3,000 every 3 days. I still had to go back. They invited him. So the next thing he did was to take me to zone 2 at Island, writing a petition against me and then the policewoman, the head, the I don't DP or something of Alausa Police Department. So after they went there, he also still signed an agreement that he would do 12,500 weekly. After like 3 weeks, he stopped. And then he started doing it randomly. Maybe in a week he would send 5,000. Sometimes he wouldn't even send at all. That is how he has been doing that. And then he knows I'm doing nothing because he actually went to my boss and demanded I'm sacked from work. And then you all know, this man left me and the kids since last year, October. After some months, he came back. And each time he comes back, he comes with violence. After the violence, he would go until January 8th, because I was supposed to resume fully at that job January 8th. He came before that date. And then the morning of that day was a Monday, and that was the resumption of my children. I was just alone with my children. Then he came back. After preparing the kids for school, I was also prepared for work. He stood up and said I was going nowhere, that I have to pack my things and the children's things back to the village, that I must not walk under his roof. So that morning, there was serious violence. He beat me mercilessly, even in presence of my children. But after everything, I had to force myself to go to that job because I didn't want to lose the job. So I went there. He went to report me to the police station. And I had a video of him beating me that morning. He went to the police to report. We had our statement and everything. And he left January 8th. From that January 8th, for months, he didn't come back. At a point, he stopped sending the upkeep of the children. So that was when he said he would only do 5,000 weekly. I didn't want any violence. I didn't want any. I said fine. Though yeah, at that point, any little money I had, I buy some things bulk. So when he dropped that message of he'll be dropping 5,000 weekly, I said no problem. Your shop is not far because his business place is not far. Each time I exhaust that 5,000 naira, I just quietly bring the children to you and then let you know there's no more food at home for them to eat. So that was what I did actually when he now seized the children from me and took them to his mistress. They spent 10 days there. I could not see them. It was the next day I had to go to Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. So our appointment happened to be like 9 days after. That was when we went there, and then I told him to release the children to me. I had never denied him access to the children. It is just him that doesn't want. He comes maybe once in a month or once in 2 weeks to see the children or stuff like that. And then since he came to my working place with so much embarrassment to my boss, accusation and all that, he had to lay me off. So I went back to nothing. He also sent me
What were you
message.
doing then?
It's a real estate company. He also sent me a message that he had told the lawyer in charge of our house that he's no more the occupant of the house, that if I know I cannot continue paying for the bills of the house, I should get a place and then live there. I still continue staying there because I was not even buoyant enough to pay or to even get a new apartment. I thought he was just joking or just saying it. Never knew he was serious. It was later I found out that he had already gotten a house where him and his mistress and her children are living. And that's the same place he took my 3 children to stay for that 10 days. And each time they goes to his place to spend time, it is that same house he takes the children to. And my kids do not like to stay there.
The plaintiff, Anne Amagba, alleges that her husband abandons her with 3 children to move in with another woman that already has 4 children. She claims that he stopped paying rent for their apartment and came with thugs to assault her. The defendant, Chigozie Ugochukwu, claims that he stopped sending upkeep when his wife stopped his access to the children. Judge Fumi wades into this matter.
What's the age of your children?
8, 6, and 3.
Okay. What do you have to say?
Your Honor, this issue started last year. The whole thing she said here are all lies. The first of all, from last year when the issue started, and that last year wasn't the first time. The issue has been going on and on for the past 8 years, which the family have been coming together trying to
8
settle.
years.
Ma?
And you have 6 years old, 3 years old,
8 years old,
8 years
8
old.
years old, 6 years, and 3 years
And
old.
you say you've been having the problem for the past 8 years.
Yes, almost
in
8 years.
between, you know, you understand what I'm
almost
trying
8
to
years.
say. You're still having children and everything. So somehow you were able to work it out somehow. So how come it suddenly degenerated to
yeah.
this level?
When the father was alive, he has been the one managing the situation, and we keep managing, believing that tomorrow things will get better. But when the father died, she made one comment that the father who has been keeping her in the marriage now is no more, that she will do what she wants. So I thought it's a joke. Then that last year, when the church started building up, I called the elder brother, which the younger brother told him that whenever she started all of this and stubbornness and fighting, I should tell that one. That one is the only person she listened to. Then I called the elder brother, Chidebre, and explained to him everything she has been doing. That one didn't get back to me. And after like a month again, I called him again to remind him. I said, I complained something about your sister. He didn't say anything. He still did not say anything. Then after like, I think a week after, he now called me with threat. They were like, let him warn me that if anything happened to our sister, that he will so deal with me and deal with everything that connects to me. Then I called him back. I was like, shit, what's the meaning of this message? What happened? Why are you the one that called me? He said, yes, that he has made his point. I was like, where is this thing coming from? If I beat your sister and you say something like this, I would have understood you better. But I did not see where this thing is coming from. Then I said, you know what? I think your sister has to come back to you people so that probably you talk to her. Then the other sister who lives in Onitsha, me and them have been talking. She advised that she should come back home. So you want to have a word with her. Then the brother now said that if I know that I'm tired of marrying her, that I should return her back. That she's a child of somebody. I said, okay, no problem. That I will do as you just said. She's coming back to you. That if I'm serious, I should give her transport money. Then that was I think December through January. Then I came and I said, okay. Immediately I came back from my business, she has already packed her bag already. I said, okay. She said I should give her the transport money that she's ready to go. I said, no problem. Then I got good, God is good transport, and I saw transport fare was 7,000, so I sent her 40,000. I said, then the others I said, okay, that I'm going back to the village because there's so much crisis in the village.
Can you sit upright?
So there are so much crisis in the village that they will come to her at Onitsha that she want to have a word with her. I said, okay, no problem. Then I sent her the money. Then I was waiting for when she would say she would be going. Then after like a week or 2 weeks, I was sleeping. She came and tapped me that she's going to work. Before then, that January, I've already opened a shop for her where she's managing already, but I don't know what happened to that shop. Then she tapped me that she's going to work. She has already read the children, as she rightly said, for the school. I was like, which work? What happened to the business? Which work are you going to? I said, enough of this insult. You have already packed your bag and I've already given you transfer money. Your sister is expecting you to come back. I said, please, you can't do that. You are going home from there. The next thing I did was she already packed her bag. I was carrying her bag, which she already packed, was already in the parlor. I was moving it outside. The next thing she did was to go behind me, take her shoe, and hit me on my head. The video is here. She's not claiming that I beat her. But whereas she was the one, I was like, you see, look at what you have done to me. I'm not going to do anything to you. Then when she found out what she has done, then I called one policeman very close to us and narrated the whole situation. The one was like, I should come to the station. And when I went to the station and report the whole issue. So the police people there were angry, said they want to go and arrest her. I told them not to arrest her, that she have a child of 2 years old. I don't want to arrest. I only come here to just make this complaint. Then it's not quite long, the younger brother came, who was living with me before. I don't know whether she was one according to her, I don't know. The one came with angry face. The way I looking at him, like he came to fight. But immediately he saw me, saw the whole thing, he was tired. I was telling the brother, say, Nnamdi, me and your sister can no longer sleep under the same roof. Look at what she has done to me. In my entire life of existence, I have not fought with anybody, even to the extent of somebody giving me this type of injury. And if not God has saved me, I would have been a dead person. I say, is it your sister lives now or I live? The brother was like, there's no way the sister will live with the children now. That I just give him that day was on Monday. I just give him that week that he will make sure that the sister live. But the whole thing is even tired of. He's tired of the whole thing. I said, you know what? I will take the schools till after that 1 week that you have given me. Then she said they will transfer money. So then that day I left the house. I was there, I left the house. Then I was sleeping in the shop. Sometimes I sleep in the hotel. Sometimes I go to my friend's place to stay. Then 2 days after, I saw my son in a dream. According to I saw in a dream, I wasn't happy. So what I did, I think 3 days or so. So I went to the school to see them. Then I saw my children in school. I was like, okay, how are you? People say they are fine. I say, when the mommy normally come to pick you. You say the mommy usually come very late. Sometimes 6 or sometimes mommy Munashi will be the one to come and pick them. I look at what the children were going through. Then the herself, the foreigner was living with us. But at that time, she traveled for her sister's marriage. So I have to call the herself Kelechi. Say, please, hasten whatever you are doing and come back on time for the sake of these children. I even had to send that to an additional transfer money for her to come fast. So, and she listened to me and she came the next 2 days. And when she got Kelechi, now see, your work will be sitting on these children. Make sure you take care of these children for me very, very well. Then, and this will be happening. Then I keep on sending the money that I'm sending. So in some of this time, I've been the one going to the children's school for their what they usually call it, open day or things like that. So whenever I go there,
School
I find
activities.
I find out that my son and daughter are lagging behind. So the whole thing, I became so much worried. Then I was not asking Kelechi, is your the children money? She not always at home. Even before she complained, even they say people have already complained to me that she comes back late in the night, around after 11, because then as of that I was no longer in the house, late in the night. So when I had this complaint from school, I have to call the boss, because I was one time he called me for marketing their business for me to buy. Then I have to call the boss. Say, please, I want to find out when is you people's resumption time and closing time. He said that the work does not really have closing time. They can resume at 9 o'clock, but they can close anytime. There's the marketing job. I said, okay, that's all I want to find out. Then I was like, you should have planned your work or whatever, even though I'm not aware of the job. All I know is that I open a shop for you where you're supposed to be managing. I don't know what happened to the business. And I found out that she already closed up the business. Which one is now work? I said, well, nevertheless, for the peace to reign, I said, it's supposed to plan your job with your children. It's not the house I'm married to take care of the children. It's the house I'm married. The house is already there just to assist you while leaving the whole thing in the hands of the house help. So this thing keep on happening, and I see my children lacking, especially in their area of their studies. So before now, my daughter was molested in that house by a 70-year-old man due to her negligence and the negligence of the house help.
Were you staying together at that time?
Yes, we were staying together at that time. So then I took up the case and arrested the man. So the man spent like some days there. Then after then, I gave her money to take the child to the hospital. They confirmed that there was no penetration. Then I was okay on that one. Then after one particular Monday like that, so I came to the shop. I saw my children. That was I think after children have stayed 1 week, made time break. So in the following week, they're supposed to resume. I saw my children in the shop. When I came that day, I wasn't feeling fine. I came to the shop late, around after 12. I saw the children in the shop. So I was like, Kelechi, are they not feeling fine? Why are the children here? He said, they're okay. I said, what happened? Why are they not in school? He said, their mommy said they should not go to school. I said, why? He said, because there is no food. I said, what happened to the items you took from the year? People take food stuff yesterday, and I've sent them money. I said, yes, the children have already taken their breakfast, and their snacks and everything already in the bag. I said, what happened? No, what about the food? He said, their lunch. I said, is it because of lunch that the children did not attend school today? After spending 1 week at home ready for midtime break. I said, when you came to the shop that the children did not go, why not call me? That brother, the children didn't go to school because of food. Then, normally, if you usually buy food for them in the school, you should always very tired to cook. I said, you will have seen go to the school and buy food for them to remain in school. Why? I said, enough about this. It's the first time, because of your negligence, my daughter was molested. Now, why are you people suffering my children? I said, you know what? Maybe, please, you have to go back. You have to go back to your sister, please. So let me see if this woman will not take care of her children. Then she listened to me. She went home. She go back the next day, being Tuesday. So that Tuesday, I was in the shop around 12 o'clock the afternoon. The next thing I see was to see my children in the shop. So that day, I was like, what are people doing in the shop? He said their mommy dropped them. I said, where is your mommy? I came outside to see if I would see their mommy. Because my shop, if I'm inside, I don't see anybody that is outside. The minute I came out, the neighbor outside was like, she took the same bag that brought them, took her away. So I was like, what kind of thing is this? Then not quite long, the school called me. I said, why are the children not in the school? I said, their mother came and dropped them for me now, but the children would have been there to school tomorrow. I said, okay. So then I put a call through to the elder sister that lives in Nacha. I said, look at what your sister did now. And I called the younger brother too, and also called the maternal uncle, 3 of them that same day. Look at what is happening now. He said, okay. Then I waited till night. When it was approaching the evening, I said, these children need to go to school tomorrow. So I went to the house to get their school uniform. Then I took them to where I was staying to get their school uniform. So they ready in the shop. Then I was waiting, thinking that she that dropped them in the shop around that time will come back in the night to pick them. But she never come back. Then in the night around that, I even closed the waiting because I was thinking that she would come back to pick them. She didn't come back. I waited till 11. She didn't come back.
At the shop?
At the shop, yes.
Before you go home?
Before I go home, because I was thinking whether she would come back. She didn't come. Then immediately what I did was to call the elder sister again. I said, Ada, look at the time now. I've not seen your sister. And I called the maternal uncle, Mr. Ugochukwu. I said, CCO. Okay. And I called the younger brother too.
You were with the children and you were waiting for her to pick them before you will go home?
No, at that time, I wasn't at home that time. I've already left the house.
That's what I'm saying. Before you will go to
yes, so I will go home. Yes.
So that she can take the children.
Yes, back home. But she didn't come back that day. So now I confirm what I'm saying. I called the 3 of the family members, the elder sister that lives in Onisha, the maternal uncle, Mr. Gochuku, and the younger brother that lives in Lagos here. I called and said, look, people should call her to know where she is. I don't know. Then I closed. And after that, I even saw myself because they were already sleeping. So I took them to where I was staying. So the next day, I prepared them and took them to school. Then I went to the school. I told them how much is their food, that I could not make food for them. They told me 1,000 naira. Then I counted 3,000 to give to the school. They said, no, 1,000 naira for 3 of them. I said, will it be enough for them? He said, yes, now that's how they'll be buying here. Immediately tears run down from I said, is it because of 1,000 naira this woman could not give her children for them to stay in the school yesterday and today? Now that they've not eaten their breakfast. So when I come back, I called the boss again. I said, please, is she collecting salary? The boss said, yes. Like even since October, she has been collecting salary. Even this last month that ended, they paid her 100,000 naira. I was like, you are paying 100,000, I think 2 days before that day. Then you could not spend 1,000 naira for the children to eat. Because when she started this work, I said, okay, since you're now working already, I'm no longer going to be taking the full responsibility. Said, I will do some. You now, as a working class lady, you should be able to contribute some. Because for the past 8 years, I've been doing the whole thing, down to the matches. She has not been doing anything. And that was the reason why I've been opening shop. But I've opened 8 different businesses for her, which she ran down. One that never come out from there till today. So when she says she's now working, which I'm not in stop, I don't even know when she gets to work. So, okay, I started earning salary. You should be able to share part of the bill. That's what I say, why I reduced the amount I was sending.
From what to what?
Ma?
You reduce from what to what?
Thanks because I sell most of the foodstuffs. So you take carry them from shops. And I get 10,000 and 7,000 on daily basis, sometimes 4,000. So as case may be, or it's based on what they need. You understand? Almost all the products, I usually buy them, bag of rice, I usually buy them and keep in the house. So it's just other things. You understand? So what I say she'll be able to support now, just like related things like maybe like Maggi or whatever. Because I do down to the matches. I mean, is there any other things smallest in the house? I do down to the listing in the house. But she doesn't do anything. Which I say, okay, since now you're now working, and you have worked for like up to 3 months now, until you'll be able to do one or two, even if it's matches or Maggi or whatever. So when this in so when I told the
I want
elder
to
sister
ask a
about,
question.
okay,
Are the Lagos State sexual and domestic violence, did you get any reported agreement that you both signed?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's where we should start. Where is
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
Who has a copy?
agreement, no, there was no
Do you have a copy? Do you have a copy? So you didn't sign anything?
We did.
This matter continues to unfold in the next episode as Judge Fumi continues to cross-examine both parties.
If your baby daddy is denying paternity of the child to avoid upkeep, or you suspect misattributed paternity situations, submit your case online at www.thejusticescourt.com for a prompt resolution of the matter.